Welcome to my first book review. I'm your host, Kristen, and today I will be reviewing the book Viridius by Lauren Hemphill. In case you are interested in buying the book afterward, content warnings in the book are gore, foul language, sexual situations, and sexual assault reference. I must also note that, according to the author, Goodreads keeps placing this book in the LGBT+ section by mistake. For this review, I will start with the overall plot, then world building, and finally the characters. Just so you know, I was a beta reader for this book, and this was Miss Hemphill's debut. That said, I will review this book fairly and with little bias. With that out of the way, let's begin. In short, the main plot of Viridius is that a war hero, Jade Kavar, is kidnapped by the enemy in order to help stop a galaxy-wide war. She struggles with past trauma and guilt, while her best friend, Eris Sel, tries to find her. However, Eris is also wrestling with their own inner demons as well. Overall, I really enjoyed the story. Although it does start off a bit slow, and there are a few confusing chapters after the first one, and a few in the middle, this book really gets going toward the end. Watching Jade slowly befriend one of her enemies was also interesting to see. Furthermore, she also had to deal with the person that caused her PTSD, and each encounter was very bone-chilling to say the least. Watching Eris put together the pieces was another great POV, especially when we got to see her strategize. It was a tad frustrating knowing where Jade was while Eris didn't, but the fact that she was discovering another secret was entertaining enough. This series is somewhat solid in its world building and society. For example, there is a case system in which eye color you have determines your career and status for life. Those with hazel eyes are common citizens. Red or blue eyes land that person in the role of a soldier, who serve those with golden eyes who are the ruling class. Those few with heterochromia are said to have special powers to help or kill demons, which are people with green eyes. One aspect I enjoyed the most was the religion in the novel, and how each one differed from planet to planet. Speaking of planets, the small worlds were also very unique and fun to explore. From the red deserts of Totar to the icy peaks of Hollow, it was a ride getting to see each planet involved in the war, and the main species/culture that resides there. That said, it would have been nice to stay on Jade's home planet for a while longer. The most the reader spent on it was around 1 to 2 chapters, which, although nice, wasn't enough to form an attachment to it. It would have made the stakes between the reds and the blues higher if one got to see what Jade had to lose, besides her best friend and barely mentioned parents. Regardless, it was still very good, and hopefully the sequel will give me more. As the MC, Jade is very fleshed out and entertaining. She's stubborn, hot-headed, and muscular. Although she isn't the sharpest tool in the shed, she is more than capable in a fight. This makes her a perfect foil for Eris, and really highlights the best parts of their friendship. It's clear throughout the novel that Jade really looks up to Eris, and that they support each other. However, I do have an issue with how Jade's PTSD is displayed. Her trauma is shown through a hallucination of the person that tortured her. The biggest problem I have with this is that Jade often physically attacks the hallucinations, which are often seen on top of other people. Although this makes sense for her character, it causes Jade to hurt people close to her and bring up the untrue, harmful stereotype that all people with mental illnesses are violent. Besides Jade, Eris is one of my favorite characters. Although she doesn't get as much screen time as her counterpart, what time Eris does get allows her to shine. I loved the dynamic of Eris desperately wanting to find her friend, while struggling with her feelings of jealousy and bitterness towards Jade. The scene where Eris was panicking when she found out Jade was kidnapped was one of my favorite scenes, as it showed how emotional Eris can be without Jade around to fill that role. I'll just be honest here, I hate this character. I hate her so much. The English language itself does not have enough words to describe my hate. However, considering what she did to Jade, and how Eudoxia continues her inexcusable behavior over and over, it was pretty clear that the reader was most likely never meant to like her in the first place. Finally, we arrive at our last main character, Thaddeus, and he's pretty decent. I do like the friendship he had with Jade, and though I didn't like him at the beginning, he slowly grew on me. That said, there is a slight twist near the end that sets him back to square one, but he does get his just desserts in the end. Overall, I give Viridius 4 stars. Although the characters, world building, and plot were excellent, my issues with how mental illness was portrayed really detracted from my enjoyment with the book. However, that doesn't mean I didn't enjoy reading it, and I do still recommend it. I hope Miss Hemphill will keep improving her craft, and I wish her best of luck on her writing journey.